Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. In this video, we are going to discuss different kind of programs in arrays using C++. Okay, so these are the list of the programs that will be discussed in this particular video. You can see how the programs and the output of this. If you like the video, please don't forget to give a like and subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. Do comment your feedback in the comment section. Let's begin. Help you in understanding how this process takes place. So here you can see in the first one we have to have an array where 20 elements are taken. Then I is for iteration, LOC for location, which location you want to include that element to, and then number of elements, and then data is the particular element you want to include. Okay, so that are being declared here. Then comes you are entering the elements, number of elements, how many elements you want for your array. Okay, that you have to read from the keyboard using this. Then comes entering the array elements. That means what you are going to do is you are going to enter the elements from your computer system or your keyboard, and those elements will be included in your array. After that, you have to find out the location where your new data item has to be included. That means find out the location where the element has to be included. Like I told you, a of 1 and a of 2. In between them, you have to include your new element. Like that, you have to choose which location you have to include. So that location has to be read from the keyboard. Again, using cin, you have to locate the location of that particular element. Then comes a for loop where these actions will be taken place. What happens at the first is, you can see here, when you are, what has to happen is the second element should go to the third place. Okay, so whatever is the element, it should go to its next place. Got it? So if it is a of 1, it should become a of 2. So that shifting has to happen. So that is happening right here. And then a message to include the element which you want to include, and that location is also specified here in this one. And the since it is a for loop, it should go on, like it should move on. So that for that you are having this n plus plus. Okay, now after all this process is done, what will happen is you have to display those elements in a new way. That means the new included element also should be shown to you. For that we are using this final loop. Okay, so this is the main logic of your inserting of a new data element. Let's see whether it is working or not. Execute it using this run. Enter the number of elements. You can see 6 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The location where you want to include your element is location number 2. Okay, enter the new data to be added. So include a big number, not of this type. A new number is added, 34. So you can see 0, 1 and 2. 0, a of 0, a of 1, a of 2. So this second location is changed. 3 is shifted to the next location. It went to the next location, and 34 is included here in the middle of 2 and 3. So this is shifting of the elements to next location, and in between that location new element is added. So this program is working for your inserting of a new element in your array. Here you can see the program looks similar to the previous program. Here you have to read the elements, number of elements, how many you are including, and you have to read them. And here you have to specify the location. Also, one extra thing is here, the location, if it is not equal to 0, that means the first element should not be deleted. So that's what they mean to. And then all the process happens, and here you can see the logic that is used in the previous one, that is shifted here. The LHS becomes the RHS. That means the left hand side becomes the right hand side. That means the next element will come to the previous position. That is what happens here in this deletion program. So after that you have to display the elements after deletion. So main logic is here in this portion. Okay, let's run and see whether this program, how it works. Enter the number of elements again, 6 elements. Six elements are entered. Location, you can select any location, like I'm selecting the third location. So after deletion you can see here 0, 1, 2 and 3. So this third location element, that is 4, is deleted and it is not available in your new list of array elements. Will be pasted in the compiler of programs and we will execute it. So this is the program, the given program. Here you have to include this namespace std and all IO string, and then it works this way. Let's execute it. You are getting the output as 0, 5, 10, 15 and 20. This is the output. This is the correct program for that given program. If any changes are to be made, please take care of here what has to be done. Next program where you have to find the output, same process is done. It is pasted in this platform of programmers.com in the C++ section, and then execute it. You'll get an output like this. On the right side you can see every time one character will be removed. Okay, based on this is our program of two-dimensional array where we are going to access the elements or display the elements. Okay, so let's see what is the difference. So first thing is initializing an array with a name and number of rows and columns. So here it is 4, 2. So elements are arranged in such a manner which is much more clear to the user or to the programmer. Whenever you write this, use this method, it will be much more easier to understand even for the programmer. This is the way how it is arranged. Okay, now two variables are also initialized, I and j, to represent the row and the column, and while printing the values you have to use them. So already we know two loops has to be used. So it is, the first one is 4 rows. So till the iteration or the repetition step goes till it is 4. Okay, so it starts with 0 until it is 4. Now here you can see 2. Why this 2 is being used? Because 2 columns are available. Okay, so the first one is for row, second one is for column, and inside that we are going to display the elements one by one. Already we have the elements initialized here, so just display it and execute. This /t is for tab. You can see printing of 2D array, that is because of the cout and the element during declaration time. Now another one program is there during runtime. So what you have to do, you have to read from the keyboard and then display. Take the input from the user, then display it. That another program also you can try. Let's look at the new program. This program is rows and columns are red, and you have to input the rows and columns. The rows and columns are the variables that are being declared here, and it is being read by the user from the keyboard. Array with rows and columns in this format will be displayed. Okay, now what you are going to do is you are entering a message like enter the elements of the array, and the elements will be read. So here two loops are used, you can see here. Okay, and then it is displayed to be displayed in this format, and then read it. This is not mandatory, this cout is not mandatory. Cin, read the elements from the keyboard, and then what you have to do is first element has to be taken as the largest. So first element, that is 0, 0 element, first row, first column. Okay, that is assigned to your largest variable. Now what happens is each and every element will be compared with this largest variable. So where you get that value, the largest, that will be the largest value. Each and every value will be compared with this. So already we have done similar type of program for 1D array, one dimensional array. Okay, here same way, use two loops and then do the if check. That is, check if your array elements are greater than your largest variable. Largest variable has the first element of your array. So compare that. Once compared, whenever the largest element is obtained, that will be changed to this largest variable, and at last whatever is the largest value, that value will be displayed in front of you using this cout. Hope you understood how to do this program. This is not a difficult program, though the code looks like that. Practice one or two programs of 2D. It will be much easier for you to do this kind of programs. Entered by the users are greater than 0. The count of that number will be recorded as the answer. So let's see first one. Here you have to start with the main function as always we do, and then a constant is taken, size as 10, because every time no need to initialize it, or you can simply create an array with a size of 10. Here float values and the size is given, so whatever is the size, first value, second value, whatever values are there, that will be taken. Okay, next one, you have to have a variable for counting the number more than 0 value. For that count you have to maintain a variable, that is here. So the starting count will be 0 always, because we have not yet started the array, and when it starts it will go to 1, then it should become 2, 3, and how many you have entered, that it will check. Okay, then here comes cout of just simple message to say, shows that you have to enter some values using your keyboard. Okay, and to read the values, what you have to do, use the cin for reading the values one by one inside a loop. Then comes the actual process that has to take place. That means the first array should be read, then it should go to a second array. For that we are using a for loop as usual. Your top, here you can see your on the top, this is used. The same thing is used here also, and then a check condition is being checked if the value greater than 0. So every time whenever you find a value which is greater than 0, count will be set here. Okay, so for this count only we have created a variable. So each and every time that count, the first count was 0, it becomes 1. Okay, if you find another time more greater than 0 value, it will again set it to 2, then it goes on 3, 4, like that. After all the process is done, at the end you have to output the result as number of zeros or greater than zeros you have to display. So that count greater than 0 variable will be displaying that. So that is done through your cout. Hope you understood this program. Let's see whether it is working or not. So enter 10 float values. So you can give float values 4.8, 6.7, minus so you can see here the result is displayed. Let's check whether it is true or not. So the values greater than 0 you have to find out. So here you can see 1, 2, 3 values are lesser than 0 or equal to 0. So that will be not included in the result. So 10 values has to be entered and 3 is reduced from that. So 7 is the answer. Okay, hope you understood how to do this program. Let's go to the next program. Next program is, you have to find how many values are equal to 0. So the logic is totally same, and here you can see the only difference it comes is like value should be equal to 0. Each time the value becomes 0, the counter variable or the variable that is counting. So we had another variable name, and here we are using another variable name. It is 0 count. So that variable will be counting it, and each and every time the check goes on and it becomes true, this will be increased by 1. Okay, so you have to find out how many zeros are there in the given array list, and then you have to display as such. So only that logic is differing here. All the other things are same only. Okay. Execute this program. Some kind of error is there. The error was it was not commented. This first line was not commented. So after commenting it, it is being ignored by your compiler. Now after that I have entered the float values like this, and the total number of values equal to 0 will be shown as 3. So while recording that, camera didn't record it, so you missed out that portion. So again we can run and check the answer. So 10 float values you have to enter. So let it be 5.6, 5.6, 0, 0. Negative values also we can enter. So if you see how many zeros are there, 1, 1 and 2, 3, 4. So 4 is the result shown. Let's move on to the next question. So the third program is to show the values which are lesser than 0. Count of the values lesser than 0. The logic is almost same, and you can see here you can use using namespace std instead of writing this std at every place here. Okay. Then next thing is values should be less than 0. That counting also happens. So that is the only difference in the logic. Okay. And then displaying of the result. So every time the variable is being taken in all the programs is different. Okay, let's run the program and see the output. Enter 10 float values. Now it is going to calculate negative values. Okay, so let it be 8.876 0, 0. So 3 negative values I have entered here. So the result is 3 itself. It is giving you the correct output. Program, you have to read a value n to know the size of the matrix. Okay. And the variable is like this, a of n. So you can have 3 of 3, 2, 2. Why like these elements are taken is, if you take the order like 2 and 3, what will happen is you will not get exactly the diagonals. Okay, so you have to have the number of rows and columns same. So that will give you the exact output. So in that case, that row and column you have to enter through this n. After entering, you are going to define it, or the elements are read from the keyboard using this. So 2 for loops for 2-dimensional array. We have already discussed why this is 2 loops, and then comes your reading of the array elements. After that, the main diagonal sum, that means the starting sum will be 0, right element and the opposite diagonal, the first main diagonal and the secondary diagonal, both sum is set as 0. Then what happens is, it is read inside a loop, because to access each and every element of 2-dimensional array, it requires a loop. Okay, so in the main diagonal you are having a of I. Okay, why it is taken like that is, the main diagonal, both the values should be equal, like 0, 0 should come, then 1, 1 should come, 2, 2 should come. Okay, in that manner. After secondary diagonal element will be having secondary element plus a of I, that means a of 2, then 2 minus, that means 3 minus 2 minus 1. So this is the logic to find out the sum of the secondary diagonal element, and then you have to find out or display the result. So these two variables will display the result of this diagonal. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe to the channel to get the notifications on time. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like and share it with your friends too. Thank you for watching.